report investigation. The investigative report typically is an all-inclusive document. It includes everything from the nature of the complaint, the investigative scope, the investigator's role, and the methodology, a full recitation of the evidence gathered, and a detailed analysis supporting the findings. The investigator's primary purpose is to locate information and evidence on a precise matter, to recover significant documents, or recover certain file types and any date and timestamps.
Hi everyone, I'm Mark Anthony Digio. For today's, I'll be presenting to you about the SPOT report. So what is a SPOT report? A SPOT report is an urgent first investigation or incident report that is directed to higher headquarters about the conduct of a crime, the occurrence of a natural or man-made catastrophe or extraordinary situation involving the loss of life and damage to properties. Example of a SPOT report. This written report is generalized by acquiring units or intermediate command echelons to report immediately by electrical or other means. The acquisition of foreign materials and technical documentation, like what I've said, this report or incident must need to direct higher headquarters for further investigation. Again, when we say SPOT report, this is just a concise or brief narrative report of essential information covering the incident or event. Most of the time, the law enforcement will be dealing SPOT report. This is the very important for the best evidence to what happened at this initial investigation. For illustration's sake, each and every one of these particulars has to be included in a SPOT report. They are 6 cardinal rules that means for investigation. So first is what? What kind of event did it represent? It is a murder, homicide, something like that. Second, where? Where is the location? Is the specific location in which incident took place. Third, when? Including both the date and the exact time the incident took place. Fourth, who? Provide the name of the suspect as well as the person who was victimized. Fifth, why provide a succinct explanation of the motivation if already determined the situation. And lastly, how? It gives a concise explanation of how the offense was carried out if already determined the situation. These reports are sent to the technical intelligence firm via the appropriate intelligence channels. If there are currently no teams collecting technical intelligence in the area of acquisition, the Corps of may utilize this report as a foundation for the development of additional teams to gather the technical information. For the next slide, the following should as a bare minimum be included as part of the fundamental components of this report. SPOT reports are one-time reports that are utilized by all echelons to provide intelligence or information of immediate significance. It is imperative that the SPOT report be sent as quickly as possible since the information or intelligence might have an immediate and major influence on the activities that are currently being carried out. The quickest way possible for the SPOT report to be sent while yet maintaining the necessary level of confidentiality is provided. There is no particular structure that has to be followed for SPOT report. Nothing less, it should address the question that where presented before. Which unit is responsible for reporting? What is precisely being reported? Where exactly are you and when do you need to get there? Coordinates. How much material do we have? And in what condition that does it come? Whom are you supposed to get in touch with? So that's the end of my presentation. The additional questions, what you want to say as we end the semester. For me, I hope everyone can surpass all of the challenges that we've faced these few months or this semester rather. I've learned so many things, especially from this course, and I know for sure that it will help me when it comes to my career path. And also, I hope that what I'm doing right now will it brings me the success in the near future. So I hope everyone success. That's all. Thank you.
Good day everyone, my name is Albert Ong and for today's video, we will discuss and understand what is warrant of arrest. Let me define first the meaning of warrant and later on the arrest for us to clearly understand the meaning of warrant of arrest. According to the book, warrant means a token of authorization or a document authorizing to do something, while arrest means to take into custody for further questioning or to answer allegation. Also, I would like to share with you that arrest is made when there is a crime that has been committed or there is a complaint. There is no such thing that there is no crime and you will arrest someone because it is um, punishable by the law and it is illegal. If we combine both, warrant of arrest means a legal authorization or proof that arresting someone is legal and taking of custody of someone for further questioning is legal. Other definition, warrant of arrest means a legal document signed by a judge commanding a arresting officer to arrest someone named in the warrant. Only the judge can issue a search warrant and warrant of arrest. According to the law, the arresting officer must execute the warrant within 10 days from the receipt. The arresting officer is required to submit a report to the judge, and if the arresting officer is failed to execute the warrant within 10 days, he or she will explain the reasons in the report. When it comes to the validity of the arrest, we have to put in mind that the judge will evaluate the evidence presented and find if there is a probable cause to issue warrant of arrest. The judge may immediately dismiss the case if the evidence presented clearly fails to establish a probable cause. A warrant must contain the following. First, the defendant's name if known, and if unknown, description by which the defendant can be identified reasonably with certainty. I will provide an example of warrant of arrest for you to further understand and appreciate my report. And thank you for listening. I would also like to use this opportunity to thank our Professor, Maria Dulce Mangibin, Professor in Technical English 1 and 2. We tackle different lessons that helps me broaden my ideas and knowledge about my future profession, and I'm thankful for that. It may not have seen in my during discussion when we are asked, but I know that I learned from her. And even though that we are in Zoom class, we still learn a lot and appreciate her subject, the Technical English 2. And I am very thankful for that. Also, this kind of activity help those students like me that is having a hard time to explain or express their thoughts or ideas. This kind of activity will help to improve their self-confidence.
Good day. I am Nicole de la Cruz from Group 4 and today I will be reporting about search warrant. So first, let's define what is search warrant. So a search warrant is a court order that allows law enforcement officers, for example, a police officer, to search for a specified person, location, or vehicle for evidence of a crime that has already occurred. So it is a legal document signed only by the judge that direct a law enforcement officers to search for personal property that is only described in the search warrant. So what are the requirements or requisites for issuing a search warrant? So first, probable cause is important in order for the law enforcement officers to request a search warrant from a judge. So there must be a reason to believe that the suspect is in possession of incriminating evidence that can be found on a specific location. So the judge must personally examine the complainant and any witnesses he may call under oath or affirmation. And lastly, the warrant must particularly describe to search for people or personal property that is only described in the search warrant. So when can we say that a search warrant is valid? So a valid search warrant must meet 4 requirements. So first, the warrant must be filed in good faith by a law enforcement officer. And second, the warrant must be based on reliable information showing probable cause to search. Third, the warrant must be issued by a neutral magistrate or judicial officer appointed in district court. And lastly, the warrant must state specifically the location to be searched and the items to be seized. Where can you file the application for a search warrant? So a search warrant can be filed in any court within jurisdiction a crime was committed. Second, for some conclusive reasons, any court within judicial region where the warrant shall be enforced. And lastly, if a criminal action has been already filed, the search warrant can be filed in the court where the said case is pending. So the application for a search warrant includes the office name applying for the search warrant, name officer of the applicant, the subject's name, the address, as well as the location to be searched, and the specific things to be confiscated are all included in the search warrant. So the warrant shall be valid for 10 days from the date of issuance and may be served during any day within the said period. Thereafter, it shall be void. So it must be served in daytime unless there is a jurisdiction stated in the warrant that it may be served during any time of the day or night. So during the search in the subject's place, the police officer is only allowed to search in the specific area as well as confiscating things that is stated in the search warrant. But if the police officer found illegal evidence that is not specified in the search warrant, he can legally confiscate it, and it's called the plain view doctrine. So after the successful implementation of serving the search warrant in the subject, the law enforcement officer is required to return the search warrant with the evidence he gathered during the conduct of the search in the subject's place. So that is all about search warrant. So thank you. My reflection. So before we finally end the semester, I would want to thank our head and Professor Mamangibin for teaching us many valuable lessons, not only in our technical English writing 2 course, but in life as well. I have learned a lot of valuable lessons that I will apply in the future, including all the lessons that she repeatedly tackled from prelims to finals. I learned how to properly write a police report because as a future law enforcer, it is important to know how to write an accurate, informative, concise, detailed report about an incident or a crime that has occurred. It should always answer the 5 W's and 1 H that will support the investigation. So that is all. Thank you.
Good day. My name is Lloyd Duenag from BS Criminology 201R. And today, I will talk about what is homicide, what are the elements of homicide, and what are the different types of homicide. Homicide is another term for killing a person. Homicide will occur if a person died because of the act or omission of another human being. According to Article 249 of the Revised Penal Code, if the killing will not fall under in the circumstances of murder and parricide, therefore the killing is homicide. So for us to easily understand what is homicide, we should talk about its elements. So what are the first element? The person was killed. Second element, the suspect has the intention to kill, which is presumed. Element number 3, the killing will not fall under with any justifying circumstances. And 4, the killing will not fall under within the circumstances of murder, parricide, and infanticide. So those 4 elements must be present before we consider that the killing is homicide. To have a better understanding of what is homicide, it is very important that we discuss the different types of homicide. First is murder. According to Article 248 of the Revised Penal Code, if the killing will not fall under in the circumstances of parricide and infanticide, therefore the killing is murder. Also, there are elements to be sufficed before a killing can be considered as murder. First is treachery. Second, if the killing is in exchange of promise, reward, or any monetary value. Third, if the killing has done through of poisoning, explosion, or fire, then it is murder. Next is if the killing ay isinagawa sa kalagitnaan ng kalamidad tulad ng volcanic eruption, earthquake, and pandemic, it is murder. Next is if the killing napatunayan na it is with evident premeditation or pinagplanuhan. Abortion. According to Article 256 of the Revised Penal Code, we have intentional abortion and unintentional abortion. If we talk about intentional abortion, from the word itself, intentional, there's intent to abort the baby. While on the other hand, an intentional abortion, there is no intent, but it was done through violence. For example, mag-asawa nag-away, yung lalaki natulak yung babae, and due to that force na natulak ng lalaki yung babae, na-injured yung babae, causing para ma-abort yung baby. So that is the example of an intentional abortion. Suicide. Suicide is the killing of its own self. But according to Article 253 of the Revised Penal Code, giving assistance to suicide can be liable in the law. So for example, may kaibigan ka, tinulungan mo para magpakamatay to the extent na ikaw ang gumawa ng killing, therefore you will be liable in the law. Infanticide. According to Article 255 of the Revised Penal Code, it is the killing of a child less than 3 days old. Parricide. According to Article 246 of the Revised Penal Code, parricide is the killing of a father, mother, child, whether legitimate or illegitimate, grandfather, grandmother, ascendants, or descendants, should be liable of parricide. Filicide, it is the killing of its own son or daughter. So, dito sa filicide, for example nito is yung napanood kong movie. Yung nanay nagkakaroon siya ng depression because he is using drugs, illegal drugs. And then, due to that reason, nagkaroon siya ng parallel reality. Which means, para sa kanya, kapag pinatay niya yung anak niya, it is justifiable. Bakit? Kasi kapag pinatay niya yung anak niya, there will be no suffering on their part. That's why it is justifiable to kill them. So, yun yung example ng filicide. Genocide is the killing of a large number of people from a particular group or ethnicity. One of the most famous example nito ay nung panahon ni Adolf Hitler, where yung mga Jews inalagay sa concentration camp, pinagtatrabaho hanggang sila yung mamatay. It is also known as the Jewish genocide. Fun fact, noong 1946, saka lang na-recognize ng United Nations na it is a crime under international law Kaya naman noong 1948, nagtatag sila ng Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of Crime Against Genocide. Massacre. It is an indiscriminate killing in a brutal way. Slaughtering people, kumbaga. Most famous example is the Ampatuan Massacre, where 58 was killed in a most brutal and devastating way. My reflection, I really do believe that technical English report writing is very important in our Philippine criminal justice system. Why? Because since the law enforcer is the initiator of the Philippine criminal justice system, their report will play a vital role on the prosecution of the criminals. So if there is a mistake in the report writing of the police enforcer, therefore, there will be no prosecution of criminals. There will be the Philippine criminal justice system will not do its function. The prosecutor will not function, the judge, the correction, and then the community will not function. That's why law enforcer should be knowledgeable when it comes to report writing. Thank you. That's all. Good day, Mamang Ibin.